Well, the circus surrounding 20-time Grand Slam winner Novak Djokovic continues, with Australian authorities left with egg on their faces after revoking his entry visa to play at the Australian Open in Melbourne, where he currently holds the title, to then dramatically overturning that decision. Now, it's all over Djokovic's vaccinated status, with the tennis star forced to hole up in a quarantine hotel, just like the rest of the poor souls who somehow made it down under, with the story seeing demonstrations outside the hotel and also in his native Serbia, with the Serbian president reportedly saying that he wants to fight Aussie Prime Minister Scott Morrison. All right, and let's now bring in London-based sports journo Johnny Gould. Johnny, look, you were right on top of this crazy story. What an absolute mess, to say it nicely. Tell me, what is the latest? Have we heard anything from Novak since the decision was overturned?
Well, his family, hi Sarah, have spoken to the British media here, and there was a rumour flying around that the Immigration Department were about to rearrest Novak Djokovic following his release. There were minor riots outside the lawyer's office of Djokovic, where police actually pepper sprayed protesters who were in favour of Djokovic's victory. I really hope that this is the end of it now, and that the Immigration Department and all the devolved governments just calm down a bit, take a step back and accept that their courts have some form of sovereignty and justice here. It might not be fair, but it's probably the right decision. He's a guy who hasn't got COVID. He is the world's best tennis player. He's the defending champion. He's not going to infect anyone. For goodness sake, let him play some tennis.
Exactly. And, you know, I'm sure this has left a pretty bad taste in his mouth, Johnny. You know, what does this say about international sport and Australia if one of the world's leading athletes is treated in such a manner?
It's a really dark day, I think, for the world of international sport. Of course, we've had terrible tragedies which this doesn't compare to. So, for example, Munich and Ibrox, Hillsborough, other terrible tragedies. But when I say that this is a dark day for international sport, I mean that the global idea of sport, played since, well, before the Second World War, and certainly built on after peace was made between countries in the Second World War, is that it would spread some peace around the world, and that it started in the Western world. And the Australian Open, the French Open, Wimbledon and the US Open, you look at the majors of golf in the United States and here in Britain, spread the idea of peace and cooperation between the world, and then it extends to the Gulf, and it extends to the Middle East, and it extends to Russia and the Far East. And so suddenly we have an international consensus of sport. And when one of the original Western nations, an Anglo-Saxon country like Australia, treats one of the world's great sportsmen like this, you've got to ask where this will end. What about the world of sport as a future sort of tabernacle of global peace? It's a very, very dark day, I think, for world sports.
Yeah, you're certainly right there. And lastly, Johnny, who's your money on if we do see a fight between the Serbian leader and the Australian Prime Minister?
Oh, I think the Serbs have got it, haven't they? The Croatians certainly.
I'm with you there too.
I think Morrison's going to go down in the
Morrison's going down in the first round. First hit, he's out of there.